intro. We want to do something fun for a change. We've been evaluating this machine for a while now. We discover different functions, different buttons, parameters, and possibilities. Our latest discovery, which is old news, but for us everything is new, is that we can use a third-party plugins with MPC software and kind of synchronize these units into one giant experience. We are going to heavily concentrate on the chords progression, and I will step by step explain the process, why we do such things, what to look for, etc. Everything you're about to witness is it's gonna be generated from that moment. I have absolutely no idea what I'm gonna do, but I know one thing. Every time when we discover something important, something valuable, we are going to write it down on the music sheet. Okay? I'm gonna show you how I use music sheet like you guys use the sequence in MPCX. Okay, it's a similar process, slightly different approach. Hopefully, the bottom line, our destination is to create a good music. And this is exactly what we are trying to achieve today. Why Bossa Nova? Well, I'm thinking about generating electric and acoustic instruments all together. Some of them come from my VST plugins, my favorite instruments, some of them from MPCX. This is the physical proof that we can combine these two and have fun with the latest discoveries and new possibilities. Due to respect and respecting your time, we created a little bit of template ahead of time. The template includes 4 different layers. There is a piano from MPCX. When we go to the program, it's called Fabric Piano Grant 1. There is a piano, also what we generated from Contact. It's our VST plugin from the computer. Noir. We've got the acoustic bass coming from our computer. And we generated electric piano from MPCX, Fabric Electric Piano, Suitcase Soft. I can select every single, so this is the samples of the music. All I have to do, let's start with electric piano. The bass, acoustic bass. Noir. And the piano from Fabric Piano Grant 1. Exactly. As a composer, I try to meditate through the sound. In order to achieve that environment, I like to surround my senses with something what works for me. I usually put the headphones on so I can be as closest to the sound possible. And then I generate the sound what basically tickles my senses. We talked about it. As you know, I like to combine instruments all together. If I decide, and this is fun, if I decide to combine, you see, every time I want to generate a sound, all I have to do is just arm it on MPCX. Now, if I ever want to use acoustic piano with something else, all I have to do is click the shift and then select another arm. So now my electric piano and acoustic piano, it's going to work together. Okay? And of course, as you see as a volume, like for example, I've got the electric piano volume 75 and piano 127. It's a MIDI read, so you've got the idea. If I decide to have electric piano with the splash of acoustic piano, I'm gonna lower the acoustic piano impact to minimum. So I'm gonna create some kind of balance, what allows me to have that acoustic flavor into my electric piano. If I decide to go the other way, I do quite the opposite. Okay, you've got the idea. My favorite combination is acoustic bass with the grand piano. I know it doesn't make sense, right? But at the same time, I just love it so much. Okay, for some reason, this combination works for me. All right, Bossa Nova from scratch. During our research, we noticed that the MPC family, most of the music composers then use a lot of sequences. And they create a sequence and they copy the sequence, so the sequence continues. And then by eliminating a certain voicings in each, you kind of achieve a certain continuation of your music composition. And that way you just present it to the world. So this is very interesting. I love it. It's a new way of kind of looking at the music. The way I work, or I've been working until I discovered this machine, is through the music sheet. I use the music sheet like you do a sequence. Let me demonstrate. This is the music line. I'm gonna chop that line to 4 pieces. Each piece stands for 1 musical bar. The signature time, it's 4/4. Which means 4 quarter notes per measure. Now, when you go to MPCX or any MPC, there is something, the amount of bars, right? So you can build a sequence based on 2, and you just loop it based on 4, based on 8, etc. So it's not important, but this is a sequence made of 4 musical bars. In my world. So now if I continue my sequence, it's 8 bars. If I repeat the same thing, it's gonna be 16. Why? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then I go into the beginning and I just basically repeat the same thing. So I extend. So this is a sequence 1. Which we could call intro of our Bossa Nova. Okay? Bossa. Okay? So if I use this sequence on MPCX or wanna set it up, sequence 1, how many bars? I basically, hold on. Starting position is 1. How many bars? 16. So this is how you establish the sequence in most of your music. I do the same thing on piece of paper. What I love about the piece of paper is that I've got this visual manifestation of my work and the chords progression. right? I can see that. And then based on this, I spread these chords into a different tracks, which means my tracks will be organized in a way that I will eliminate a lot of mistakes and accidental notes, because I know if these notes kind of depend into that fraction of the music or not. Bossa Nova, it's gonna be recorded, but not in this episode. Today we are searching for chords progression. Once we have it, now we can record it. So I'm using the piano generated from MPCX, and I already, for the purpose of this video, I generated the acoustic bass coming from my computer. So these two platforms kind of communicate. So in a way, you know, the MPC works like a controller, MIDI controller than the machine itself. Some of you could say, oh man, you just wasted your money. You could just buy the software for $200 and save yourself, I don't know, $2,300 on the exchange. And I would say you are totally right. However, this is just the beginning. All right. For some reason, today I had this key in mind of our piece called B flat. So if I do a Ionian scale on top of B flat, okay, looks like this. So let's just fool around with possibilities. I can always change the key later on. So I will just fool around with the idea of Bossa Nova. Tom, taka tom, taka tom, taka tom. I'm gonna eliminate some. Sometimes I can be very passionate about the music I make. So sometimes you just, you know, I punch my piano too hard, and there's like an element of destruction coming your way. I'm gonna put another camera on just in case, so you can basically access my writing best way possible. Okay, so we established that B flat major 7 we're going to start with. The tempo is 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4. Next one, 2, 3, 4. Next one. So my sequence kind of goes that way. All right. So and we can repeat the same thing. So now it's boring, but other instruments will join us for the groove. All right, so now the intro would stay for now, the way it is. And we are going to go to something called the verse. Now, of course, we want to kind of introduce, so verse stands for a new sequence, and this is measure 1. So if I do a MPCX, I switch to a new sequence and establish the amount of bars. I like to use 1632, depending how I feel. I can always adjust that number. So the sequence 2 could have 16 bars for now, and we could call it a verse. Beautiful. Okay, so today's video, it's not important today, but at the same time we are kind of learning the logic of MPCX and how we can function in this world as well. So you've got verse. So we will fool around with some kind of chords coming our way. So it's kind of boring. It's just continues what we had in the intro. So definitely I want to change the mood. We could go for G flat major 7, no problem. But yeah, we can go for E flat major 7. But it feels like a different tune. This elevates the music, yes, but it doesn't feel cohesive at this moment. Okay, how about this? The B flat key of Ionian, the parallel to it is G Aeolian. Oh my goodness, I love this. So G minor 7 will flow. How long? We have no idea. So look, this is B flat major 7. My sequence introduction comes to an end. You see how it went? We changed the mood, but in a way that it's like it's related to the introduction. So we are in a verse. This is our sequence number 2 in the world of MPC users. Oh my goodness. Yeah. So what it will do to us, it will elevate that minor chord. If I go back to my G minor 7, I won't be able to elevate. Like, probably I could lose some listeners because they kind of, I went back home too soon. Verse. Now, since I wanna relate to my Bossa Nova theme in B flat, I could jump back to the B flat. Hold on. And now I could jump. Beautiful, excellent. B flat major 7. Okay, I can express major 7 by doing a triangle and 7, and also May 7. It's the same thing. And the way you read your chords in music, you see the sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you see a new chord. So you change the previous one into a new one, and you continue counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Oh, new chord is coming 1, 2, 3, 4 until we change it. B major 7, B flat major 7. Okay, this doesn't lead us anywhere. Okay, I like the idea of jumping into E flat major 7, but it's kind of too soon. My senses are telling me I could use some other chord. B flat major 7 next. I could do but it's a very typical chords progression. So let's just do, instead of playing F minor 7, we will jump. We are going to switch B flat major 7 into B flat 7 as a dominant 7 to 4. Perfect. All right. as you see, we are expanding our sequence for another 4 bars. And you can easily do the same thing in your sequence in MPC. You just click the bars, extend the bars, and basically the software includes those new bars, what you're about to fill in with music. We established that our goal is to E flat major 7. Oh my goodness. Perfect. Okay. So we are going to go for E flat minor 7. So you see, I'm playing with the senses. Like this is B flat major 7, B flat 7, E flat major 7, minor E flat major 7. Okay, we could do that, but hold on. I could do a drop by half a step on the bass line. Yeah, let's just go for it. So this is a B flat on top of D. It could be a triad, could be a 7 chord. It's up to you, but what it stands for is the bass got the D note. All right, let's change the sequence back. Now we are talking about. I'm gonna add my favorite bass so you can hear E flat major 7. I see it's already, I already spark things up, but adding this bass, and I have even more fun than before. And now D. Okay. Okay, another one. E flat minor 7. Let's do jump perfect fifth down on G7 flat 9 flat 13th. Yeah, let's just use this. Look, there's a first option. Second, I mean first, and we drop it half. C minor 7. Let's just do this. Let's just do G7, flat 9, flat 13th. So we are adding extra tensions. They are not important. They give flavor like salt and pepper into your food, but they are not important at this moment. So let's just do a B flat on top of D, G7, yeah, C minor 7. Okay, I have an idea. G7 flat 9th. Now, of course, it leads us to a minus 7, but instead of C minor 7, I'm gonna do a E flat major 7. Which is parallel chord to C minor 7, but it's gonna elevate our minor chord into something greater. Oh, okay. Let's do this. Look. E flat major 7. what just happened? That was great. Okay, perfect. You see, we used the C minor 7 kind of too soon, so we substituted with E flat major 7. Now I'm gonna go back to C minor 7. I could sustain this for 2 bars. Or we could add something. How about if we change the flavor of the dominant 7 chord? Okay, for the purpose of this video, we are going to spice things up by adding F7 sus4 in the end. So look, when we go for E flat major 7, F7, C minor 7, okay, in our sequence, let's add additional 4 bars. If I go back to B flat major 7 too soon, I will have to kind of commit to the resolution, right? The song comes to an end, and I don't want to end it yet, because the introduction is gonna cover that chord. So I'm thinking, oh, okay. Let's add B flat major 7. Okay. B major 7. Can we add the sharp 11th to it? Of course. Sharp 11th or not, it's another spice. Now, if I resolute this on B flat major 7, I've got B flat major 7 here, and then when we jump back to the introduction, I'm using B flat major 7 once again. So I wanna kind of sustain that resolution just a little bit longer, which means I have to find another chord to basically sustain that fact. B flat. I could jump perfect fourth up, and then into the intro. Perfect. So look, E major 7, sharp 11th once again. And basically this will lead us towards another sequence. Turns out, hold on. So the introduction continues. Verse 6, 7. B flat made 7. Now D on the bass. G7. Excellent. Now E flat major 7. Okay. I really like the direction where we are going with. I'm thinking I would love to. I got inspired with the F7 since the whole song's supposed to sound cohesive. What I mean by cohesive, you use the same tracks, the same instruments, and they kind of include a certain material inside the playing. Like if you use octaves, you use octaves. If you perfect fifth, sometimes you manifest that. Sometimes we called it a motif in music, something what stands out. This Sus4 stand out for me as well. And I'm thinking I would love to use that F7 Sus4 in an introduction. But how can I do that? Because if I do, and then if I refer to the F7 Sus4, it's totally possible. I like it. But let's see what else is possible. It's too dark, kind of out of the alignment. Flat 3 would. It sounds nice, sounds modern, but at the same time takes me away from the previous experience. I don't want to do that. How about this? If we substitute B flat major 7B with B flat Sus4, 7 Sus4. Okay. Already sounds modern. That's awesome. And now Sus4 again. B flat. No, I don't want to do F7 over here because it's going to take me away from presenting this beautiful minor chord into the verse. So let's just do this. B flat major 7, 6, 7, and B flat Sus4. Pa 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 pa. B flat major 7 again. Pa pa pa. And B flat Sus4. And we're going to repeat it, of course, twice. So the introduction, the sequence 1, will include 16 bars. Why 16? I will explain later. Pa-pa-ta. Verse. One, two, three, four, one. And back into intro. I don't know if you noticed, but we made this area very busy. And when you listen to the music, it's kind of it's steady, and changes, and all of a sudden there's like a different kind of movement of the chords progression. So I like this. I love this Sus4 in the end. What leads us to this major chord, another major chord. They both include sharp 11 and into B flat. So B flat, so this is E, the jump goes from here to here. Okay, so this is like the unexpected, because usually this kind of chord we could resolve by dropping bass half a step. But this E flat major 7 never happens. We jump into B flat major 7, that's the element of surprise. And I dig it. I like it. Quick observation. I love this method of working with music sheet because everything is in the front of me. So, which means no matter how many tracks I create in my sequence, how many instruments I select, they will follow a specific chords progression. Now, I see the chords, I know when they change, and I know which notes are included, which ones are correct and wrong. Okay, so this simplifies my work. For the reason of playing with other musicians, I love this technique because now look what happened. We just spent working on this piece, for several minutes. Now I can go to rehearsal with my musicians and just give them 5 copies of the same music sheet and say to them, let's just see what we can find to make this Bossa Nova work for all of us. This is just the beginning. In order to spice my senses, we add this acoustic bass for some reason. Okay? Maybe something else in your life, it's gonna work better, like this electric, for example. Look, if we add additional sound, electric piano, okay, so if you prefer this combination, please go for it, absolutely. There is no limitation to what you can combine. The idea is to meditate. When you meditate, you allow yourself to go with the music. You don't try to control it, the music takes you. When you allow yourself to be taken by the music, you may discover a new pathways or new ways of thinking about the music and anything else. When I use the bass with the piano, it allows me to already hear pieces of arrangement what I could include in the end. Okay, so if I do this F7, I could basically add this kind of line because my ear for some reason got inspired by these lower frequencies on my piano. I come from the world of DAWs. My latest is Luna and Universal Audio. These guys are phenomenal. So eventually, at some point, I would love to transfer everything what I do here into my digital audio workstation. Some of you ask me this question, since we are using 2 different platforms, how does it work when in the end we have to just transfer basically the data from one unit to another? And I'm thinking the best way to describe it is that you can print every single track in MPCX separately and transfer it to your computer, or you can print every track separately on your computer and then download it to MPCX. If this is too much, we can combine them together as a one file. We call it a mix down. You just mix them down into one audio track, and then you transfer the data that way. Remember, if you do it this way, You have to commit to everything you print altogether. The balance between the tracks, the spaciousness, the EQ, all the effects you want to include in that transfer, it will manifest, which means you've got a limited access to individual tracks, impossible access, I would say. And when you add effects and you have to commit to them, which means sometimes it's really hard to undo effects what you basically included. Like we said earlier, this is just the beginning. We will continue discovering this machine. The next time we see each other, we will actually record this Bossa Nova. So you're going to witness the recording session of ours. And then we will have a little discussion based on what you heard. And of course, our goal is to move towards sampling, towards recording the voice, other instruments, sending the audio tracks or downloading the audio tracks into MPCX. So there will be so much fun coming our way. So stay tuned. If you're not subscribed yet, please do it now. We will all benefit from your presence, your questions, and your involvement in this beautiful journey. My name is Piotr Kowalczyk. See you next time. One, two, three, four, one. And back into intro.